There's a natural history museum that resides right on the campus of the University of Puget Sound. Being one of the few natural history collections in a college setting, the Slater Museum has given students an exciting opportunity for hands-on learning since 1930.
Historically, the museum was used for teaching here and also for research by students and professionals around the world. So they're like lending libraries. We send out specimens to people who are interested in using them for their research.
Home to approximately 85,000 specimens, this collection is unique as it doesn't hold a lot of exhibits like a typical museum.
But one of the things that we try to do is make our collections available to schools and to the local community. And we do that in a few different ways. So one of the things we've done is we've developed these kits especially for 4th and 5th graders. They focus on local natural history and science. We basically have an AmeriCorps that brings those into schools around Tacoma.
The museum also has monthly open houses during the school year that are open to the community and staffed by student volunteers. Tour opportunities are also available.
Egg collections were a big thing in the late 1800s and early 1900s. It was like baseball card collecting. And egg collections were the first kind of specimen that was used to look at human impacts on the environment. So eggshell thinning occurred as the result of DDT introduction, and peregrine eggs were used by researchers to show that eggshells started thinning right when DDT was introduced.
Visitors can get a first-hand look at some unusual specimens, not only from the Pacific Northwest, but from around the world.
One of the things that we have are pangolins, which are critically endangered. They're the African and Asian anteaters, and they look like gigantic pine cones. They're covered with scales that are made of keratin, which is the same stuff our hair is made of. They're slow, armored, big claws, long snout, long sticky tongue, suck up ants. But unfortunately, in Chinese traditional medicine, powdered pangolin scales are a cure-all for many, many different kinds of diseases. And that's led to them becoming critically endangered around the world.
Active collecting at the museum hasn't been used for some time, and most new specimens are salvaged animals. These specimens act as an important archive for research and education.
So this is a mountain beaver. Mountain beavers live in banks and they dig. A lot of homeowners really don't like them. And what most people don't know about mountain beavers is that they are host to the world's largest flea. They're about 1/3 of an inch long and they crawl around them very slowly.
Researchers can access all of the museum's holdings online and can borrow specimens depending on their interests.
This is a typical bird specimen. You can see that the wings are folded back and you can't really look at the feathers. So we decided to take off one wing off of each specimen, and here is a hummingbird wing spread, and here is a white pelican wing spread. You can see the tremendous difference.
Use of the collection can demonstrate other ways these specimens can be useful.
Museum specimens have DNA, so essentially not only are they collections of specimens, but they're collections of DNA. They can be used to look at contaminants. So we have students, for instance, looking at mercury concentrations through time in birds. Variants of atoms called isotopes can be used to look at diet. And so we have students looking at, for instance, the impact of urbanization on raccoon and opossum diets.
With a goal to engage, the Slater Museum of Natural History is dedicated to sharing its collections with the Puget Sound and Tacoma area communities.
The skulls are really important. Here is a skull of a mountain beaver. Mammalogists use the skulls to identify species, and they can also figure out what the animal's been eating. One of the questions that students often ask is, how do we get the flesh off the bones? If you guessed we use carrion-eating beetles, you're right.